Right, you lot. And what the hell was that World Cup group stage? That was actually mental. I mean, this is why I love this tournament. It doesn't matter how bloody controversial it is. There's always so many shocks. It's so random. I mean, we saw Morocco top a group, get 7 points in a group with the former runner-up and third place at the last World Cup. We saw big nations like Germany, Belgium and Uruguay all fail to qualify. We saw the incredible stories of Asian countries like Japan and South Korea. And most importantly, Saudi Arabia beat Argentina. So I'm actually genuinely terrified to go back and look at my predictions, because I just know already they're going to be a shambles. But let's get on with it, shall we? Now, I've got a scoring system for this. For every correct prediction, I get 3 points. For every prediction I get wrong, I'm losing points. 1 space off, -1. 2 spaces off, -2. And 3 spaces off, -3. Spoilers, there's a few -3s in there. Group A, 4th place, Qatar. I mean, do I pat myself on the back for this? Do I celebrate? I mean, what we all knew Qatar would get dead last in the group. I mean, imagine waiting 12 months for a tournament just to be out of it in 5 days. They were atrocious, and Wales are glad that bloody Qatar were in this tournament, or else they would be put as the worst team in it, because Qatar were a joke, only scored 1 goal, defence was shambolic. I mean, they were terrible. 3rd place, Senegal. I was about to look like a genius. I said without Sadio Mane, Senegal would look mainly confused for most of their games and lack an identity. And I mean, I wasn't too far off. They were very uninspiring against the Netherlands, and yeah, they beat Qatar, but they weren't incredible in that game either. It was one dodgy penalty decision that got them through to the next round, and I'm sorry, Senegal, you weren't very exciting to watch. 2nd place, Ecuador. Ecuador, you let me down. You bottled it. You actually bottled it, because you did the hard work. You grabbed a draw against the Netherlands, where really you looked like the better team for most parts of that game. You beat Qatar very convincingly, where you were in second gear for most of the second round. All you had to do was not lose to Senegal, and you're in the next round. They've bottled it, and they've let me down. I'm now on 1 point because of them. 1st place, the Netherlands. Again, do I celebrate? I mean, yeah, the Netherlands topped the group and made Cody Gakpo look like the guy that everybody bloody wants in January, but you weren't great either. You were second best most of the game against Ecuador, and it took until the 88th minute and a howler from Mendy to actually score against Senegal. Comfortable win against Qatar, but again, that's like playing San Marino. So Netherlands, be careful in the next round, that's all I'm going to say. Group B, 4th place, the USA. I said that the USA would expose themselves as this overrated piece of mess, and I'm going to say something right controversial, because I've heard YouTubers like Mark Goldbridge say that the USA were the best team in this group. Have a day off, mate. The USA, are we just going to forget that in the second half against Wales and Iran, they were second best for most of it? And even against England, as poor as we were, the USA really couldn't score. Yeah, Pickford made 1 or 2 good saves and Pulisic hit the crossbar, but you weren't great. Beware of the Netherlands, that's all I'm saying. 3rd place, Wales. I mean, at least I didn't predict them to be out, but Wales, you're contender for worst team in the tournament. Ramsey and Bell look so past their best. You could have put my granddad on the pitch and he would have had the same impact Bell had in most of in the latter 2 games. I mean, you were shambolic, Wales, and I'm so glad I didn't put you second. But that means, where am I now? I had 1 point, 3 for the Netherlands, that's 4. Then I lose 2 for America, that's down to 2. And I lose 1 for Wales, I'm down to 1 point. 2nd place, Iran. Iran, you were so close. All you had to do was draw to the USA and you're through, but you bottled it as well. I mean, this prediction looked like it was going to be a shambles after match day 1, but no, you bring it back, you beat Wales. And I really wanted to look like a genius. I really wanted this prediction to go through and prove people to not be so bloody reactionary and go, oh, Iran are atrocious. No, Iran are a well-drilled side, and I feel bad for them if anything. 1st, England. Well, I've got 3 points again. Let me be honest, right? England fans annoy me, especially during this tournament. We beat Iran 6-2, everyone's partying around, it's coming home, it's coming home. We drew to a pretty alright USA team, really we should have beat them, but they gave us a decent game. And everyone's like, Southgate out, we're going to be terrible, we're getting knocked out by Senegal. Then we beat Wales again, it's like, it's coming home again, Foden and Rashford are going to lead us to World Cup glory. No, we beat two teams that we were expected to beat quite comfortably, and Southgate hasn't shown me that he's any different from his previous tournament. He had no clue what to do against USA. The fact Phil Foden or Trent Alexander-Arnold never made it onto the pitch in that USA game was a joke. He had no idea how to substitute. The Jordan Henderson sub in hindsight was a decent idea, but you were lucky, Southgate, and he's going to get tactically exposed. I'm sorry, Senegal, I think we do beat Senegal, but I'm scared that goes to extra time. And France in the quarterfinals, God help us. Group C, 4th place Saudi Arabia. Yes! Get in! I'm going to be honest, I thought this prediction was going to be in jeopardy. But I've got 3 points from it. I mean, you bowled it, Saudi Arabia. You looked heroic, you were stoic, you were some sort of like Hercules-like hero against Argentina, putting in a defensive Mourinho-like masterclass, but then you just let it slide against Poland and Mexico. You should have done better. 3rd place, Poland. I was so close. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Poland were the most boring team to watch in the World Cup. I was able to catch most games in this group stage. I missed a few bangers, unfortunately. I'm gutted I couldn't have seen Ghana, South Korea, But Poland, you sent me to sleep. The only player that deserves any respect from that Poland team is the goalkeeper. He's probably goalkeeper of the tournament so far, but you were uninspiring. You were lifeless. And Mexico, if they could have just scored against it, you were shambolic. 2nd place Mexico. You don't realise how tight this bloody was. Mexico at a point were going out on yellow cards, and if it wasn't for that late Saudi Arabia goal, they would have been out on yellow cards. I've got to feel bad for Mexico. You were the 2nd best team in the group. But if you had a good centre forward, you could have been so much more Mexico versus Argentina. This was almost an embarrassment as well. But luckily, I was able to rein it back. Argentina, you weren't great. A moment of magic got you past Mexico, and a penalty got you past Poland. But apart from that, I fear for Argentina. I mean, I don't think they're going to go head to toe with the likes of the Netherlands, the likes of France, Brazil. They weren't great. Group D, 4th place Australia. Oh my god. Just to recap, I'm on 7 points after now. Now I'm back on 5. I laughed at Australia in my prediction. I said that the cricket team would be more successful on a football pitch than them. I don't get how Australia were this good. You look at the team and there's no quality there. Somehow they got past the Denmark team that just beat France twice in the Nations League, and it's been incredible. I don't get this. Australia, go beat Argentina, because this is the most mental thing that's happened in this whole World Cup. I can't get over it. 3rd place France. What? Is that correct? Is that correct, Jeff? I actually put France in 3rd place. What was I thinking? I think I thought the World Cup curse would catch up to France, and there are many injuries, and there was all this stuff in the media about would France struggle. No, they were uninspiring for about 10 minutes against Australia. Yeah, they lost to Tunisia, but they didn't really care in that game. They were probably one of the top 3 teams in this tournament. Fantastic showing from France, I've got to say. I genuinely think France made the final. I'm going to put it out there, because you look at their run. They've got to play Poland, which, I'm sorry Poland, they won't even have a shot on target in that game. Then they're going to play England or Senegal, which I would say it'd be England, and I'm sorry, we ain't beating France. Yeah, Portugal or Japan or something like that. I think they beat all of those teams. France are going to the final. Click that up now. 2nd place Tunisia. At least I'm only 1 point off there. I'm back to 2 points. 1st, Denmark. Denmark, you were the worst team in this tournament. I'm going to put it out there, go out on a limb. For the expectation that everyone had for Denmark. People saw them as dark horses. I put them in the semi-final, for God's sake. Dead last in the group. Only 1 goal scored. You were terrible. Absolutely, you bottled this tournament. You had your best Denmark team I've seen in my lifetime, and you just, That's minus 3 points. I'm back to 1 point. This is going south fast. Group E, 4th Costa Rica. Oh, thank you, Costa Rica, for saving me. But that was not... Costa Rica did surprise me. After the first game, I thought they'd go down as the worst team in the tournament. I mean, Spain made them look like a National League level side. They had no fight. They were caught offside about 50 times. But no, against Japan, they somehow won with 1 shot on target. And for a moment, it looked like they could be sending Spain and Germany out. But no, they couldn't hold on. But I've got to give credit to Costa Rica for that 5 minutes where we thought, could Spain and Germany both crash out? 3rd place, Spain. I knew one of the big two would crash out for Japan, but I got the wrong team. I thought Spain's lack of attacking threat, I thought Fernando Torres and Morata would be uninspiring up front, but then they go and score 7 goals in a game. I mean, that's the biggest jinx of all time. I called Reece Wiesner during the first Spain game, and I told him how bad Morata was and how much of a flop he was at Chelsea, and then he goes on and becomes the leading scorer, 3 in 3. I mean, for God's sake. 2nd place, Japan. Yes! I mean, yes, it's technically a -1 wrong prediction, but I think I'm the only person on this planet that saw the potential in this Japan team as exciting counter-attacking team. I thought, to be honest, that they would bottle it. Against Costa Rica, you should have beat Costa Rica. They looked lifeless, but they gave it that all against Germany and Spain, and completely deserved both victories. Technically a wrong prediction, so I'm back down to 1 point, but I don't care. First I said Germany, I'll just take the points off. I'm on -1 now. Germany, you weren't terrible, to be honest, and I think it's a matter of circumstance when it comes to Germany, because you were great against Costa Rica and Spain. I mean, I thought Germany probably should have beat Spain. They were the better team for most of that first half, and if it wasn't for that offside goal, they would have. And against Costa Rica, yeah, they conceded 2, but they were very solid, and that Japan game just came back to bite them. I think if Germany were in any other group, they would have gone through. So I'm not going to laugh at Germany. They weren't as shambolic as the likes of some other teams we'll get to in a minute who didn't qualify, but... Oh, Germany. Let's get on to Group F. 4th place, Morocco. Oh, I'm on -4 points. Morocco were the most shocking team. Were the most shocking thing that happened in this group. So take back what I said about Australia. There's a kid in my class whose mum is Moroccan, and I was just dreading the day he came in tears after they were embarrassed by Croatia. But no, Morocco were incredible. I mean, they were the 2nd best team overall. Only England and I believe one other team were able to get... Netherlands, that was it. Only England and Netherlands were able to get 7 points, and Morocco were absolutely incredible. And I'd give them a good shot against the Spain team. They might be the dark horse that no one saw coming. 3rd place, Canada. I mean, at least I didn't put Canada through. I said that Canada would prove to be an overrated mess, and for the most part they were. But the thing is, I've got to give a lot of credit to Canada, because watching all 3 of their games, they were so exciting to watch. Such a great attacking team. You know what? In the next tournament, I want them to do well, because Canada... I would happily take up Poland in the knockout today and put Canada there, because although they got no points, they should have beat Belgium. They were incredible to watch. 2nd place, Belgium. I'm on -7 points. I'm on -6 points now. I tell you, the big mistake Belgium made, and I'm being serious here, was not bringing Divock Origi. You can't tell me that Origi wouldn't have scored those 2 Lukaku chances. I mean, that's the guy who could have got them into the knockout today. But seriously, Belgium, you were woeful. I said only negative things about Belgium in my prediction video, saying they were aging, saying that they had their chance and it was gone now, saying that the defence would get absolutely circled around by the likes of Croatia and Canada, but somehow I thought even they would have enough of the likes of De Bruyne and Courtois. And Courtois, for God's sake, if you would have put performances like that against Liverpool in the Champions League final, we would have taken that trophy. I mean, why did you have to make that your big moment game? This is the guy who took the mic after the final and said, put respect to my name. I mean, did you see his performance against Canada? He was shambolic. But Belgium, I'm glad you're out, just because of Courtois and De Bruyne. Actually, no, probably I don't want De Bruyne because he'll be like, get more time to rest and lead Man City to the title. But anyway, moving on. 1st place, I said Croatia, and yeah, you got 2nd. I'm on -7 points now, but To be honest, you were unlucky to not top the group. I mean, other groups you could have done better. Group H, last place, South Korea. -9 points. South Korea. Who was I to know that South Korea would put a madness in this group? Like, what kind of football genius do you expect me to be? Jesus Christ. Right. Third place, Portugal. Why do I keep doing this, if I say? I think I was distracted by Ronaldo's situation, if anything, because he just put me off. He really put me off, like, all this Canada, this and that, so yeah. Second place, Ghana. Ghana, you were close. I mean, if you could have rescued a point against Portugal, this could have been a mad shout, but I liked watching Ghana, and it was quite sad, and I still feel bad for them, considering what happened to them in 2010, but yeah, some fault. First, Uruguay. The way the Uruguay players reacted going at this tournament, they showed all the maturity of Horrid Henry. I mean, what a joke. Disgraceful behaviour. Darwin Núñez especially. I mean, that guy is quite the character, quite the contrast of Salah and Diaz, isn't he? But Uruguay, I put you in my final women's prediction, and you went out in the group stage. I think I've jinxed you, because it wasn't until the last game you showed any attacking potential. You couldn't score for the life of you. Yeah, I think they were robbed of like 2 obvious penalties, but it didn't matter. I'm glad South Korea went. So I go into the final group at -14 points. Oh, what a shambles. 4th place, Cameroon. Oh, get in. I mean, yeah, you beat Brazil, you had your moment, Cameroon, and you were one of the better teams that got 4th, but no shocks there. 3rd place, Serbia. Get in. Serbia, I'm so glad that I didn't fall into the trap that most people did of putting them 2nd. I mean, I just knew that they would show inexperience and lack the maturity. Everyone thought they'd get 2nd. 2nd, Switzerland. Oh, finally, a good dead-on shout for me. That's 9 points now. I'm on -5. And of course I said Brazil would top the group. I mean, I'm not stupid. So overall, I ended on -2. I had a few good shouts in there, but was mainly clouded through so many ridiculous calls. That France one is still going to haunt me to this day. I put Denmark first, bottom of the group. Uruguay first, bottom of the group. Morocco 4th, top of the group. USA 4th, 2nd in the group. South Korea 4th, 2nd in the group. I mean, it was a shambles. But anyway, goodbye you lot.